Hello everyone, this is time for another maintenance video, and today we are gonna cover replacement of chains and sprockets. So I went to my maintenance shop to change the tires, and they called me back saying that my chain is really worn out and it needs replacing. So they quoted me 400 euros for a sprocket set and the chain set. I didn't really wanna pay 400 euros, so I decided to see like how hard can this actually be. So I bought myself a set of sprockets. In this case for Honda NC750X is a 43 tooth sprocket, and the back a 17 in the front, and of course I had to buy a golden chain. I bought it from a reputable brand called DID, and let me also show you. I'm gonna slide it out here on the table. It's all wrapped up, oiled up, and look how beautiful it is. It's all golden. On a side note though, my bike is all blue and silvery, so adding the gold color is gonna look a little bit ridiculous, but everybody knows that the golden chain adds more horsepower, so I had to go for it. Just kidding, golden chain does not add any extra horsepower. But this chain is an X-ring chain. Compared to O-ring, it's actually a little bit less stiff. So when I try to twist it, it should actually do it a little bit smoother, although it still feels very stiff. And some sources claim that you get maybe half a horsepower at the wheel because the chain is not so stiff. So the sprockets costed me 150 euros, but of course in order to replace the chain I have to also buy the tool, and I was really surprised that the tool is quite expensive. It's around 100 euros. There's also 20 euros kit, but the problem is they tend to break very easily, so I had to go for something which is a little bit more expensive because I didn't want to be staying stranded, and I will have to hopefully use that multiple times. So even with buying the tool, I'm now 250 euros in, and if I may manage to do a half decent job, I end up saving a little bit of money. Now this tool has different sockets and adapters that you have to put in here. So this setup, for example, it's for breaking the chain. As you can see, you actually set this as close as possible to the chain. Let me see if I can demonstrate a little bit. On the newer chain, I'm not interested in breaking this, but for the sake of the experiment, so you have to, okay, I did this a little bit too much. You have to slide this one in, find the perfect spot. Still not good enough. Then you fix this thing with the big bolt. Also make sure you retard completely the small bolt. So now the chain link sits perfectly flush. Everything is aligned very well, and by pressing this bolt in here, the pin is being pushed through, and then the chain breaks. Now this chain is new one, and I actually saved quite some money. For example, 114 links chain was 110 euros, and this is 120 links chain which was only 80 euros. I imagine many bikers just wanna buy the chain to the length and then maybe use clips, save the riveting part, but since I have the braking tool, I just decided to save some money. Process is quite intricate. I'm a little bit scared to do it the first time. I'm also, you can see here the nice Japanese markings ranking what's the best solution to attach your chain. See, the clips are on the third and second place, and actually using the rivet is considered the safest option. I really like how graphical are all of these instructions. You don't really need to know Japanese, you can take a look at it. It's very interesting. They say that you have to keep your chain away from the battery acid, I assume. That's very interesting. They also give you some recommendation how often to oil it, and also how to connect to the old chain and you slide it down. We're not gonna do that because I'm interested to clean up the whole area, so I'm not gonna. I also need to remove the old chain to see what's gonna be the length of the new chain. So my current chain is a little bit longer than it should be. That's about it for the in the house part. Let's see how it goes in the field. Hello, it's me again. This time I'm sitting outside and I'm getting ready to remove the chain. First I will have to remove this cover, and here's gonna be the bolt. Then I'm gonna attempt to loosen this bolt while the bike is still with the chain on. I will attempt to also loosen all of these smaller bolts, and after that I will attempt to break the chain. I'm a little bit concerned that it's gonna take a lot of time to actually break these bolts, but let's see. I hope I'm getting lucky. First, the cover has to get off. Oh, finally. Yep. People, it's finally loose. These are incredibly beefy. Nice. This one is loose. first of all, the book has instructions and I've read them before, so there's a 3-step process. We're gonna start with the braking chain, and with the braking we have to use this adapter. They say TPC 210. You put it here in the socket. Then we're gonna find a very convenient spot somewhere here. We're gonna screw it in tightly, this bolt, so it doesn't move at all. And then we insert the pin. So the tool has to be really securely mounted on the chain. I got this sacrificial chain, and the goal is to not bend the chain, not really not to bend the chain, more like to don't break the tool. Light force holding the tool. It doesn't feel too hard. I can still use this small wrench. Okay, now it becomes lighter. Probably this thing pushed through. Yeah. There you go. The pin now sits on the other side. I'm not sure if you can see it. As the pin sits on the other side, push through. This will allow us to remove the link. And let's do that with the second one. The pin is out and the chain is broken. How cool is that? Fast forward a little bit, I have just pulled the wheel out, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna replace this sprocket here. Really good when the parts are coming in together, because you're finally starting to see the end of these things. The noise is the caliper slightly dragging. This is the new covered in some super sticky stuff. I'm gonna torque it down when the also this is the chain, all chain full length. I don't think I'm gonna do that here with the new one, or it's gonna pick up all the debris. I don't want that, so I'm just gonna put it, measure it on the spot, cut it. By my calculations, I should remove only 6 links, but always let's double check. Gloves on. Go. I sat in a very awkward position. Oops. Don't drop the chain. Alright, so after a lot of measurements, I measured like 3 times, 4 times, doesn't matter how many times. I'm cutting 6 links, exactly how the shop said, how the specs are saying. I don't think I over-shortened the chain, it's just the initial fitment is a little bit difficult. There we go. The chain is not tight now. I wonder if I can give a much closer look at the operation that is happening in here. So first step, I have to change the tool from the chain braking mode to the option to press in the master link. This is not the actual riveting part, it's just pressing in the master link. So, since it's not very obvious, the link is not passing very easily through these rivets, so you need the tool to fully press it in place so that the rivet actually sticks out. And now the chain is fully, the link is fully in line with like, if you look it from this side,
Everything has to be in line. There's no difference, there's no like extra mega gap, and it's not easy to press it in, to be honest. Might look like this is riveted, but it's not yet riveted. So there's one more step, and that step requires the other two parts. So this is the part that is gonna flare out this thing, and this is the part that is gonna hold the other element in the back completely flat, prevent it from moving. It's really useful to have the smaller wrench, so you could feel how much torque you're actually applying. When it's done, you can feel like much bigger resistance. It doesn't want to go in anymore. Then you back it out. And then you see it's totally flared out and not going anywhere. Now there's one more important step, is to prevent from wearing unevenly. The sprockets should be fully aligned with the chain. Should go that direction and it shouldn't bend, otherwise it's gonna wear unevenly. And this is given by the wheel alignment. And this is correct. Okay, that was not too bad.
A few moments later, actually a lot more later, because my camera died and I ran out of batteries. So I have two batteries, both of them ran out, so I had to finish the work without the camera. And the only thing I did was to just put all the plastics back together, the chain guard, everything. And I also went for a quick ride, and look how beautiful it looks. I really liked how it rode. It rode very smoothly, and definitely I could hear more noise from the old chain. I was making rattly noise. The sprockets were fine, but I think the chain was almost frozen. It's due to Dutch winters, being very rough, a lot of salt and everything, but now it's finally settled. It looks nice, it looks clean, it works well. Small recommendation: before doing any of this operation, just open this cover up and go to nearby car wash and give your bike a proper cleaning with a degreaser, with everything. It's gonna make your job so much easier. You're not gonna be covered in mud and other pieces. As you can see, I didn't do quite a good job in cleaning everywhere, and just almost instantaneously the chain already started to pick up some debris, which is not great. Overall, everything is tight, everything is torqued to spec,
and the bike rides super nicely. Thanks for watching and see you on the next item.